Drive on mama, buckle up. Andrea TV here from driveonmama.com. Dashing in the rain. We are doing some dinner dashing in the rain. It has been raining all day long. The schools closed early, some of them, and some just didn't have afternoon activities. And it is still raining. It's not raining as hard as it was earlier, but it's steady and it's still very wet and cold and windy. So let's see how this shift will go. There is no peak pay. For whatever reason in my market, DoorDash had a peak pay from 3:30 to 5:29, and then it was over. So we have declined our first order received. It was $18.25, going 8.3 miles. And I also, just to give you an idea, was, that's still $2 a mile. Take it. It is 5:30 when I logged on. And just to give you an idea, the elementary school is about a mile from that customer's address. And that's how long it'll take. A half hour. I would get back here at 6:30, a little bit after, because the food most likely wasn't ready. And dinner shift, it only lasts for 2.5 to 3 hours at the most. And we're going to make the most of this dinner shift. We have our first order. We're going to take $6.75 for 1 mile. Let's go get it. Rather than the $75 offer, and then our next order, $7.25 for 1.7 miles. And I would love to remain close and safer than going way out to another zone. And I've looked up the time. It said we would have completed that first order for $18 for 8 miles at 6:06. Right now it's 6:06. The only difference is we're not half hour away. I'm going to have to talk about her because it is very windy. Before we pulled off, they sent us an add-on, an additional $6, going an additional 1.3 miles. We're going back to get some more. Okay, those two orders dropped off successfully. The $7.25 went up to $9.25, and the $6 remained $6. And we are back on the avenue. We finished dropping off those orders and was back on the avenue by 6:36 or 6:38. I really can't see it that well. I need glasses a little bit, but it's in the screenshot. And if we had taken that first order, we would have just been getting back around now, because I don't know if you've driven a half hour. Ooh, people are upset. I don't know if you've driven a half hour away from your zone, but it usually takes more than the 29 or 30 minutes to drive back, by about 5 minutes or so. So we're sitting at 31 instead of the 18, because that order was not going to go up. It was going to remain the same. Then we had to decline too. There is a vegan, gluten-free restaurant that does not limit how far you are from the restaurant in order to receive a DoorDash. And I'm going to have to pause this because the order I did accept, they're sending me an add-on right now. And I'm back. So as far as I remember, I was telling you about that restaurant that does not restrict how far they will allow the Dashers or their app to work. So they sent me an $8.75 or $8 and change going 8 miles. And then a minute later, the same restaurant, 16 and change going 12 miles. No, not taking that. But we did take our next order that they sent, $7 for 1.8 miles. It's actually picking up at a restaurant we've already picked up at tonight. And then when I was doing this little clip, they sent an add-on. Now this add-on I typically would not take if it was a Sunday night or a Friday night, but it is a Tuesday night and it is now almost 7 o'clock. Things are going to die down quickly. The additional add-on was for $20 and change, going an additional 7.9 miles, but where it's dropping me off is still within the zone, and it is next to a shopping plaza that has a few restaurants like Shake Shack and other food eateries, where if somebody local wants something, I may get an order there too. So I'm not going to turn off the app after I drop that off. So let's go pick up these 2 additional orders. Both orders successfully dropped off. The $7 remained $7. That was a hospital drop off. And if you are working in a hospital, you can't always come when they text you. So the time did run out, and thankfully, The front desk person saw me standing there and waved me in and said, oh, you can leave it here. I don't want to hold you up. We'll give it to her. Because usually they don't allow you to do that. So I'm grateful for that. And we got back on the avenue and we had to decline a catering order. Yep, an order over $100. Someone was tipping less than most likely $5. The order was at $9.75 for 7 miles in total. And it's going deep into the city, not into the suburbs. That $20 order was going further into the suburbs. And that restaurant is a fancy Italian pasta place where they make it from scratch. But no, they really didn't want their pasta tonight because I wasn't going to bring it to them. Then we received the next order we're going to take. $8.50 for 2.5 miles, bringing some Chinese food. And then they tried to send us an add-on, which we had to decline. It was, I believe, $12 for an additional 5-point-something miles, but going further into the city. Just to give you an idea, the additional miles for that $20 order, that 7.9, it was 17 minutes driving there, and it took 20 minutes to drive back to my zone. That additional 5.9 into the city can take the 20-something minutes and the 30-something back. So that's why we declined that. But let's go pick up the Chinese food. Okay, that last order went up to $10.75, and then we got back to the avenue. We did decline one for 9 and change, going 5-point-something miles into the city. That is too low. And then we took our last order. We are actually going into the city. We could not turn it down, especially on a Tuesday night at 8:35 p.m. $29 with a plus sign, going 8 miles, 2 pickups, 2 drop-offs. Let's go get some Indian food and some diner food. Okay, both orders dropped off and we are on our way home. It remained at $29.50. One customer tipped $10, the other tipped $11. And this is why I was willing to take that order, go deep into the city, because there is no one left on the streets. Everyone is home in their beds except for these few people probably working or trying to get home. And we ended our dinner shift making $99.50, working from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. That is excellent in my market, or in most markets, I would think. And hopefully this helps someone, and we will see you on the next one. And drive on, mama.